Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our main story quest line here at Grey Ogre Games, our weekly Final Fantasy tournament. My name is Mick. I'm your host for tonight. We're watching the match here between Lincoln and Joel. It looks like Joel just took a mulligan there. And Lincoln looks like he's playing what? Mono Lightning? Mono Lightning? And he's also going to be taking a mulligan. It seems like Joel's going first. I like the playmat. Very cool. Joel here is going to play first, and it looks like his hand is just full of backups. Not that fantastic. Starts off with Maria and just gonna pass the turn. Does give up a Ritz and an Anacross. And Anacross is pretty good. So, to give up the Anacross for to give up the Anacross must be a little bit hard. Yeah, but Maria plus Anacross is fantastic, but sometimes you gotta give up some stuff. Here we go. Gets rid of our Raiden for, I can't really see the card. I think that's a Red Mage. Yeah, that's a Red Mage. Another Red Mage for another Red Mage. So all three Red Mages are out. So not gonna expect any more Red Mages from Lincoln. But a second Anacross and a third Anacross. So same problem on Joel's side of the table. 3 Anacrosses in the graveyard already. But now, Joel has the delightful task of, has the delightful bonus of every, all his stuff get plus 2,000 power. So that's great. So yeah, Lincoln here, looking through his options. I don't think you pass. I think you just play the one of the black mages and then pass, because man, you are not gonna be able to get rid of any of Joel's guys normally. The fact that they have plus 2,000 power. Does play the Gramis, probably gonna look for an Elcid, maybe, yep. And then just gonna pass the turn. Yeah, Gramis here, integral part. Gramis and Elcid, integral part of the Mono Lightning deck. And I don't think he's gonna be playing anything. Let's see. Oh, okay. I like this card. Behemoth. Behemoth is not a card that we see very often, but I think it's it's quite versatile. Or maybe not versatile, but very strong. This card. There we go. So Behemoth is a monster. We don't see a lot of monsters nowadays. But Behemoth is a monster. You pay 1 lightning crystal. Until end of turn, Behemoth also becomes a forward with 8,000 power, and when it receives damage from a forward, deal that forward equal to half the damage received rounded up. And you can only use this ability once per turn. The make it into a 8,000 power creature. So pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, all the art for Theater Rhythm, all the Theater Rhythm cards, fantastic. I like it a lot. I think you should just attack him with the Behemoth and don't do anything else. His hand is very reactive. Like, he's got an Alcid, he's got alright, able to mill Vincent. He's got Alcid, he's got Rigdea, and then a Black Mage. So that would maybe take down like one guy. Oh, okay, he plays a Black Waltz 3. I believe that's a Black Waltz 3. Yeah, okay. Not often. This card you don't see often. When it enters the field, choose one forward, it loses 2,000 power and turn. When Black Waltz 3 is put from the battlefield into the break zone. Choose one forward. It loses 2,000 power until end of turn. So it's a 6,000 character, which is pretty good. Oh, a Dada Luma here on Joel's side of the board. So, and that's not a small Dada Luma. That's like a 10,000 Dada Luma. Gonna be really tough to get rid of, and especially with the Arif on the battlefield. Lincoln here can't target Joel's forwards with his backups. Let's look up Arif. I like this Arif, but you know, uh, not too relevant unless you're playing against like Mono Lightning and you know, possibly Mono Water. Which, well, Mono Lightning here in Singapore, definitely a lot of people play it, but Mono Lightning, Mono Water, it's okay. So yeah, Arif, if you control a category 7 forward, the cost for playing Arif is reduced by 1. But, you know, not too relevant. If you control, the forwards you control cannot be chosen by your opponent's backup abilities. So your opponent's backup abilities, yeah. So things like Red Mage, the Fire Red Mage, you can't make it not block. Things like Black Waltz, you can't make it not block. So you're looking at Dada Luma. Oh. There we go. Dada Luma, when it's chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities, choose up to one forward your opponent controls and then deal it 4,000 damage. And then when it's dealt damage, choose one forward opponent controls and deal it 4,000 damage. So, you know, Alcid, you definitely don't want to play like Alcid combo into Dada Luma, because basically you lose both your Alcid and your Onion Knight or whatever goon that you're playing. And Dada Luma right now is 8,000. If he plays Rigdea, or he plays the Alcid into a Rigdea, that's only 8,000 damage, and Dada Luma is going to get rid of both of them. So yeah, it's not the greatest. So Lincoln here, alright. So Lincoln here can attack. He can attack with the Black Waltz, right? And you know, Joel here will take it. I'm pretty sure. Because if he blocks the Black Waltz, right, it takes 6,000 damage. And then you're going to put 2,000. Ooh. And then it's going to go minus 2,000. Which means that it brings it down to, what, 2,000? Which means that you can cast that Rigdea from your hand and just target Dada Luma, destroy it. Albeit you will lose that Rigdea. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Oh, sneaky guy. So I think he can get rid of the behemoth. Let's check the wording on behemoth. There we go. Okay. So when behemoth receives damage from a forward, deal that forward. So it doesn't target the other forward. Right. It just deals the damage to the other forward. So he's gonna deal damage to the behemoth. It will deal damage to Dada Luma. Dada Luma is gonna deal 4,000 damage to the Black Waltz. Wow, what a blowout. What a blowout. So he blocks the behemoth, And then, 2000 damage goes onto the Black Waltz. Oh. Okay. So Onion Knight gets milled from the top. And if Lincoln here has any, you know, any removal, he will need it he'll need it soon. He doesn't need it right now. He can start building up his board and then do the removal. Exodus would be great. What else? What other removal? Like Odin, yeah, straightforward. Just Odin would be fantastic. Get rid of that Dalaluma. Especially when you got no creatures on the battlefield. Would be good. Hmm. Alright. Can't really see what is in Ling Kong's hand, but maybe you don't want to get rid of this Dalaluma. Although Joel here has a lot of sneaky ways to deal, to abuse this Dalaluma. Like we talk about like Cactua, not Ritz. What's the name? Yashtola is also a great way to get rid of it. But it does instead cast Gilgamesh. Very good against mono water, or very good against water in general. Gives up the black mage, which effectively not it's not good. It's not very useful, especially with Joel having an Aerith on his side of the board. I like Joel's deck. Joel's deck's kind of interesting. There we go, Cactua. What I say. And Cactua can get just straight out get rid of that Gilgamesh. Alright, and Rauban fights the Gilgamesh, swings in. Rauban here is a 10,000 power character. It just bashes, enters the field, deals 9,000 damage to itself, and another forward. And Lung Kong here looks like he's in a little bit of trouble. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Lincoln, I'm not quite sure. Well, here's the thing about Final Fantasy that I find, it's so interesting that you have to give up stuff. Like you have to sacrifice your cards, which everything in your deck is gas. And the reason why sometimes turns take so long is that you have to consider, okay, if I give this up, like what's good? Or at this point of time, Lincoln needs to be asking himself, like, what can get me out of this situation? And Exodus will probably get you out of this situation. Gets rid of both Dadaluma and Rauban at one go. Uh, and might want to start playing that what's his name? The Alcid. Yeah, but Rauban here, he's big. He's like what 11? Sorry, 10,000. Okay, plays a backup and just passes the turn. He does have Exodus Judge Style, so I'm curious why he hasn't fired it off yet. Is it Exodus? I think it's Exodus, right? Let's check. Let's check. Right. Exodus, the judge style, you name one number, your opponent selects one number, then you break all the forwards with that number. Oh, wow. Okay, so he does play the Exodus, but gets to keep his Dada Luma. Oh no, doesn't do any damage. Right. Plays the 1 mana summoner, Rigdea. Rigdea's got to target something, right? If I'm not wrong, Rigdea has to target. It's not a. It's not a May ability. Choose one active. Oh, you gotta choose one active forward. My bad. My bad. So yeah. So you choose one active forward and deal it 3,000 damage. So he does get around. Ling Kong does get around that. So there's no active forwards, obviously. Only monsters. But Ling Kong here able to mill two very powerful cards from Joel's side. Like we see a Delita in the yard right now, and we see a Vincent as well. But a Vincent, a second Vincent. This is the, I believe, Opus 3, Opus 4 Vincent. Enters the field, you get to look for another Vincent, and then it's got a very meh super ability. And I think you agree with me, it's just like plus 5,000 for strike or something like that. Who knows what the hell it does. But the most important thing is that it's got EX Burst. EX Burst, find you another Vincent. You know, it enters the battlefield, find you another Vincent, or, you know, EX Burst and get you a Vincent. Yeah, I like this deck from Joel. Very, very cool. Be in with Dadaluma. No blocks. Ramzal Mill. Be in. Second main phase and Archer and just passes the turn. So this, wow, this might be critical. Here, man, Ling Kong here needs to get rid of stuff. He really does need to get rid of stuff. Like, the Judge Sal, the Exodus Judge Sal was. It's not premature, but it was unfortunate that Joel there had a little bit of an answer in the form of Titan. Just. Was it Golem? No, Titan, not Golem. And to protect his Dadaluma. Dadaluma against Mono Lightning is extremely, extremely strong. And right now, Ling Kong just doesn't have a lot of answers. Like he has to get rid of that area, otherwise his backups can't do any work. But anyway, his backups are full right now, and they're not very useful with the area around. Red Mage can give haste. He could attack in right now, but he needs a blocker. He needs at least two blockers because that Cactua is threatening to get rid of one of his blockers. Let's take a look at Cactua's ability. A very cool ability. So you tap and you choose one forward, deal it 1,000 damage, or you can pay 3, 1 crystal and 2 generic, 1 win and 2 generic. Tap, put Cactua into the break zone, choose one forward, deal it 10,000 damage. Cactua deals you 1 point of damage, and then EX burst cards you put into the damage zone due to this ability cannot be used. So basically, you take 1 damage. It's a 1 mana card. It's not. It's not a lot, honestly. It really isn't. I also like the inclusion of Archer. Archer does get rid of backups. I think problematic backups like Minwoo. That one's gonna that one's gonna suck. Especially especially against your deck. Like Dadaluma deals like little points of damage here and there. Cactuar deals little points of damage here and there. I'm not quite sure what's the rest of Joel's deck, but I see a 7 in the graveyard, so 7's pretty good. All right, Onion Knight here. Gonna bash in. That's not a good idea. That really doesn't. That doesn't feel like a good idea. Because the Cactuar is gonna get rid of something. Oh, what is this? Fight. All right, so Odin here. Odin deals 4,000 damage and then going to deal 5,000 damage. Okay, so Dalaluma does get, targeted anyway. And Lincoln here buys himself one more turn because he does get rid of the Dalaluma. Oh, no. Okay. That's something. Yeah, I actually know. We've seen No quite a bit. No. Is this the. Yeah, Opus 4 No. Opus 4 No is pretty good. When a forward you control attacks, choose one backup you control and activate it. Pretty good. I like the ability. Gives you some free mana. Oh, Feral Chaos. Interesting. But you know what? Feral Chaos only has 10,000 HP. He's gonna get rid of the Feral Chaos. That's cool, man. That's cool. Instead of taking that 1 point of damage, and does he have a haste creature right now? Nope. Gonna blow up your your backups. Cast Asura, untap everything. Cast a Dadaluma probably, presumably. No. Just yep. That's weird. I wouldn't cast that Dadaluma. So I wouldn't cast that Asura just yet. Like you can use Asura to get back the 7 in the yard right now. Does Asura get you a character or a forward? Asura gets you wow, it gets you a character of cost 2 or less from your break zone and add it to your hand. So Raiden here gonna get rid of 2 of Joel's creatures. Not super effective. But we did see Joel here trying to get rid of Lincoln's mana sources or crystal sources. Choose up to 2 forwards opponent controls, remove that first forward from the game and break the other. Asura here. Gonna look for probably that 7. 7's a really good card to have. Nope, just gonna pass the turn. Yep, waiting on that. I thought he has a 7. Come on. Yeah, Lincoln here slowly building back his mana base and cards, and like it's so apparent that Joel here has just infinite number of cards. Shara and Ritz, which means that Ritz gets plus 2,000. So Ritz is a 9,000 character right now. 9,000, 11,000 character. Ling Kong needs to presumably cast a creature and kill the other one. Needs to be able to drop a forward and then deal with the other guy. But I don't think that's gonna happen. There's not enough cards in Ling Kong's hand. The Exodus, man, took a lot of resources, and Joel there, smartly predicting that his opponent, like, the only way out is that you have a Raiden, and so start stripping his opponent's mana base. And there's a handshake. Congrats, so Joel wins it 1-0. Alright. We are going for a short break, but we'll be back in about 5 minutes time. I think most of the tables are done. I'll put on a replay. But before we go, just want to remind you that you can join us on the stream every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Singapore time for Magic. And if you like the Final Fantasy, which you do, that's why you're watching. It's Friday nights, 8 p.m. Singapore time. But if you miss it, it's okay. Just go down to youtube.com/GreyOgreGames. Alright, we are going out for a while. We'll be right back.